Uh, yeah, lately I've been pondering and thinking inside my head, trying to contemplate and consider this subject of it's called guile. It's a biblical terminology, and it comes from kind of like it's kind of like guile is a. I personally thought it just meant gossiping and talking crap, like hating, slandering, which that could entail that, but really when you look at it, it's more general than what I initially thought. All right, listen, if you ever heard of someone trying to be a smart aleck or look like a know-it-all, in a way that's speaking with guile. To speak with guile means you have some kind of agenda, ulterior motive, and it means craftily engineered speech. Politicians are perfect examples of guile because they just tell you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? They're catering to a people pleasing type of a mindset and attitude to get people's defenses down so they can fucking hijack your brain, Big Brother, satellite, AI database matrix. You know what I'm saying? Type shizzle. But guile. Listen, that's also the terminology called gaslighting. Look, there's a movie called Gaslight. It does outline this technique well, and it doesn't look like the movie. The movie is about like a ritual or operation they do to people. It looks like to me, it's not just the situation. It's like a retelling of a ritual, but in fictionalized format. And a lot of people do it naturally, especially those who. It's like it says. What does it say? It says, "What web we weave when we what we practice." There's the key word, practice, to deceive. Okay, so guile could fit into that too. And I was thinking of this terminology called truthful gossip. It's like this, okay? Have you ever seen someone who will come to you like, I got this problem. I'm concerned about so-and-so, but they use that as a platform to put them on blast. But instead of just coming out and saying, yeah, I wanted to put them on blast because I got this revenge, I got a grudge, and I wanted to get them back. You feign concern, but it's convenience to put them on blast or to present a platform to present another argument to push a little bit of your thoughts and your opinion about that person, and you can get it projected on them. See, here's something I just realized, man. It's like, okay, see, say I was an interrogator, right? That's when they put the spotlight in your eyes. See, that hurts your eyes. See, but if you put the spotlight behind the person, it illuminates their path. You know what I'm saying? In front of them. And that's the way that you use the light. You don't use it in an interrogation fashion. I mean, unless it's a person who is really effing up, and it's just way blatant and obvious, and it's like, I'm trying to illuminate the path, man, but you keep looking in the light. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. It's like, see, that's the way the light is supposed to be used. Like I said, it's a guide. It's somewhere that and here's another thing. If the light's a sign way off in the distance, a house or a city on a hill, well, it's far enough away it doesn't hurt your eyes. Your eyes can use that light to find their way to where the people are at. You know what I'm saying? So there's different way. In other words, the way you go about it is what changes it from truthful gossip. Because there is gossip, which is just slander in most cases. It's just rumor and talk on the town, and that's just, see, the thing of it is, as you catch gossip down the line, you got everyone's opinions, emotions, and their flaws all attached to the description you get. There's always three sides to the story, potentially more. You know what I'm saying? There's always a lot of factors at play, so it's best not to bring people into your arguments that don't belong there. Unless it's necessary, you need an intermediary, intercessor. That's wise if people can handle counseling from an outside party. who's qualified, who doesn't have some kind of moat in their freaking eye these days. You know what I'm saying? So no one's really qualified to be the judge over another at all anyway. It's basically we should all encourage each other to judge ourselves enough to keep us. I mean, no one's perfect. We all have the tendency. You can get drawn into a conversation where you unintentionally started gossiping. There's a sin in the Bible called the unknown sin offering, and it's like where you sin against people and you don't realize it and you won't remember it, you'll never catch it. Just the fact that you consider that you're not Mr. Perfect, you don't know it all, and maybe you gave bad advice, maybe you were in a bad mood and it rubbed someone in the wrong way and it caused turmoil and heartache and pain in their life, when you're supposed to be this light on the hill. But it more or less, you know what I'm saying, it's the other approach, the basically it's like running up the hill, straight at a person, but you're at the bottom of the hill, but you're hitting them in the eye with the light. You know what I'm saying? On the way up, man. So it's like, man, have I ever? I've been engaged in. And here's another thing: murmuring, complaining. Here's a real bad one: bearing false witness. Who bears false witness? It's a person who knowingly says something but they know different. See, if you give your witness, but it just wasn't accurate because you didn't have a good opportunity to catch the whole situation, so your testimony's shaky. It can be taken into account, but just because, hey, that's how things happen. Like car wrecks, sometimes people can't tell you what happened so fast, then they were knocked out, and next thing you know, they're waking up in the hospital. How do you expect that person to recollect what happened? Same thing in fights. You watch people, one guy almost looks like he's gonna win, all of a sudden stray punch hits him in the jaw, dude's on the ground knocked out. He don't know what the frick happened. He probably don't even have no recollection of that stuff. Same thing. I did that is in the Chinese book of leadership and strategy too, that it's wise if you let people who are wise come in and intercede and give you their opinion and their best advice and use their facilities of their mind and their heart and their goodwill towards the situation to quell it. That's what you need, a person who really has that freaking spirit. Like I was listening to that Bob Ross painter guy, and I was like, wow, man, I need to tap into joy like that. And I do sometimes, but look, the cares of the world always call off like the sirens. You know what I'm saying? To calling you back to the worry, to the discouragement, to the frustration, to the reality of this world, how it's crumbling around us. And people just they don't want to hear that message. Instead, they always want to redirect it and project it back on you and saying, no, the world's not messed up. You are. It's like, maybe I am, but so is the world. So where do we go from this point now that there's acknowledgement? But you're the one who sometimes don't want to acknowledge that the world is messed up. And hey, that's a flaw in man. Sometimes I want to assume the best for you. I don't want to believe anyone's evil and capable of just being a total cutthroat, betrayal, stab you in the backbiter, a traitor, heady, high-minded, or haughty, high-minded, egotistical, ulterior motive, agenda type people out here. But there is, it's hard to accept that. And I've been in denial of that my whole life, because I do want to see the best in people and give them a lot of passes, because I mean that's what's required of you too, is patience, and mostly with people is what's going to require you to have the most patience, because people are going to try you from day to day to day, and if you let it, it'll eat you up and it'll make you hate, and you'll start to gossip, truthful gossip. Like I said, that's really more like magicianry and gaslighting, and it's just reverse psychology. Evil psychology is ambush psychology. Like I realize there's loaded conversations. A loaded question is, it doesn't matter which way you answer, you're gonna catch shit for it. It's kind of like on Full Metal Jacket, and then Joker says to the dude something, he makes some joke. And then the drill sergeant, he's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Joker? And then he's like, you better take that back and go back on what you said. And the Joker was like, no, if I went back on what I said, you would only just beat me harder. And the dude's like, good shit, Joker, you're promoted. Because, you know, because Joker caught the dude trying to point to the mountain, and he was trying to force the guy to go to the grindstone, but instead this guy went back to the mountain, and then the drill sergeant was like, oh, that was good. Yeah, because that was my intention, and you caught me, and you called me on it, so you get promoted for it. Bam. That's the way things should go. When it's just accountable. It's like, listen, I'm not trying to condemn or judge people a lot of times. It's more or less, let's be accountable. Let's all be accountable. Look, you got to eat your shit too. You know what I'm saying? Your own shit. You gotta take the hose and wash the shit off your roses. You know what I'm saying? Your own roses. And we all gotta work towards this. And it's like, see, it's not that people that are seeking and searching are necessarily that much better and don't. It's not like they don't F up like just regular people who are oblivious. You know, it's just they acknowledge things easier. And see, the more things you acknowledge, it's like I was saying, I want to believe in people. So it gives me a disadvantage or a disability, which makes me susceptible to people that the smiling faces. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is a common thing where they send their operatives in and they try to find something they can use against you, and you got to be real. Unless you speak a certain way, you know what I'm saying? They'll find gainsay against you. They'll be like, yeah, there's guile there. Oh, that was double speech. See, double speech, man, and just being crafty and trying to sound smart and trying to one up one another. This whole flashy debate, intellectual, sophisticated, psychological preacher guy. You know what I'm saying? I heard this dude say, when you mix psychology and the Bible, you're going to have freaking problems. I mean, not real psychology, but Freud. He said Freud in the Bible. But the Bible has certain psychology about men in general, mankind in general, in it. So it addresses psychological ideas like what's wrong with the heart of man? Why does man do what he does? And it explains that to an extent. And then it does outline, and it tells you how you go bad. And then as you do it in real life, you'll recognize that, yeah, that is true. And how do I know that's true? Well, because I fell in that into that myself at times, or you know what I'm saying, like that. And I mean, that's the thing. The wise man knows his limitations. If you think you're limitless, that's pride, man, because God doesn't say that. He says that greatest of man's knowledge is as foolishness unto him. And it's in Isaiah, man. You know what I'm saying? Here's another thing. I just listened to 2nd Ezra's again, and this angel was telling this Ezra guy, and he's like, look, man, there's no way you could ever understand these things. And listen, sometimes not knowing is knowing, because you know there's things out there that you could not know, and that you can perceive that like it's a good check and balance. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It stops you from getting the God complex, the Messiah complex, or the cult leader complex. You know what I'm saying? It helps keep that in check. It says a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. Why is that? Well, the Bible tells you, because knowledge puffeth up. And see, that's the thing. And just like I said, you get promoted, Joker. It's like when you get promoted, now you got a target on you from the devil. Now he's out to sabotage you or just make you look bad and make you give up, because that's really their whole mission, is just to make you give up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wear you out just till you give up, and then you give in or whatever. You go fucking jump off a freaking cliff. Whatever the frick it is, whatever it takes, whatever gets it done. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So be careful what you ask for. You want to be a higher up. I mean, it says the greatest of us that serve the kingdom of God are like the servants of all. You're the most humble, the lowest. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, watch out for truthful gossip and guile and double speech and being crafty, cunning with your speech.